Imagine this. Washington is locked in a standoff. Politicians are playing games. And once again, it's the people who pay the price. Families are anxious, paychecks are uncertain, and the future feels shaky. This isn't just politics, it's real life. And as believers, we can't afford to put our hope in Capitol Hill. Jesus already warned us in John 16, verse 33, "In this world you will have trouble. But take heart, I have overcome the world." That's the key. No matter what the government does or doesn't do, our peace doesn't come from politicians. It comes from Christ. Tonight, we're breaking down what this shutdown really means for you and your family, and how we can stand firm in faith while Washington wavers. Don't just watch the news, be part of the conversation. Hit that share button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's lift up truth together.
Welcome to Faith and Freedom, the conversation where faith and politics collide. We bring you real, honest discussions on the issues shaping America through a biblical lens. Here are your hosts, Kathy Ryan and LaTanya Evans.
Hello.
Hello. We are
How
twins.
are you doing? Welcome, everybody. Yeah, we're twins. We didn't plan this, by the way.
No.
No. It must be sending a message. Faith, hope, and love cannot be canceled.
Yeah.
That's the name of the shirt for a plug from the Faith and Freedom Shop. You can find it at faithandfreedomshop.com. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Please like, subscribe, and share this and help us out and help support the channel. We greatly appreciate it. So tonight, Washington versus the people.
Yes.
How you liking the government shutdown?
Wow.
So I'm going to put it out there to our audience right now. How is it affecting you? Because, you know, my husband and I both collect our Social Security checks. That's how old we are. We got them.
Oh.
No hindering. We got our Social Security. My mom got hers. My son hasn't blown up my phone without him getting his paycheck because he works for the federal government. He's in the Navy. So, you know,
So
in the comments, who does it affect?
wow. So who actually is being affected then? Is it all hype?
No, it's not all hype. There are thousands upon thousands of federal workers who have been furloughed, like the Department of Education. They're crying the blues that they're not working. And I keep asking my husband to call his nephew because his nephew is a civilian contractor for the federal government. So I don't know if he's working because the last shutdown, he was furloughed. So he wasn't working. So it did affect him. So he didn't get paid. But, you know, then it gets paid retroactively. But one of the things that this event gives President Trump power to actually lay off federal workers.
Wow.
So, you know, the Democrats, you know, what games are they playing? And, you know, really, what did they ask for? Because, mind you, the government has been shut down 13 times it hasn't been shut down. The continuing resolution that the Republicans passed through Congress, that's now with the Senate, that the Democrats are refusing to pass, is the same continuing resolution that has been passed 13 times, the past 13 times. And that was including the Biden administration. Democrats put right through. They had control. They put it right through. So why aren't they doing it now? What's the reason behind it? We have to find out. We have to ask. So they have their own continuing resolution bill, and I happen to have a presentation on that.
All right.
So let me share my screen and I can tell you what they want. So basically, what they want is they want to repeal a lot of what was done in the big, beautiful bill. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's pretty small print.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can blow it up. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Okay. That's the best I'm going to be able to do. That's at 500%. So basically, why is that? Okay. So basically, the Affordable Care Act and health insurance subsidies. During COVID, Biden increased the subsidy to help cover costs during COVID. That's set to expire on January 1st. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'll read it to you. So it's set to expire in January 1st. So basically, they have a provision in there that they want to extend or make permanent the expanded tax credits for subsidies. Well, this is costing millions upon millions of dollars to do that. And the big, beautiful bill did away with that. But you know what they're claiming out there, and they're shouting from the rooftops, is that the subsidy is going away completely. No, it's not going away. It's just being reduced back down to where the original Affordable Care Act provision was. Nothing changes in the Affordable Care Act. People can still get insurance and still can get the tax credit. It's just not going to be added a $10, $20 to it. Basically was what it is. It's not much. But when you're talking about hundreds of millions of people, Americans, that use the Affordable Care Act and get the tax credit, it adds up. That $10, $20 adds up. So that's what they're repealing. Also, restore funding or reverse cuts to Medicaid. Here we go. They want everybody to get health insurance, including people who are not here legally. And the way they worked around that to do it, because the law does state, and it's a law back to 1996 or something like that, says that no person illegally here can get health insurance. Well, what the Biden administration did is they made all of them, well, whoever went through and got caught and had to register, they made them asylum seekers and waiting for their asylum application to go through. Well, pretty much on the day one of the Trump administration, he stopped that mess. And you can seek asylum here in the United States, but you got to remain in your own country until your application's been approved. Well, these people are here, and all they had to do was go on the app, that Border Patrol app, fill out that I'm seeking asylum, get a plane ticket, and fly into the United States under the Biden administration. And under that, you got free health care, you got housing, you got a cell phone, you got all of this stuff because you're an asylum seeker. Well, Trump appealed all that in the big, beautiful bill. They want it put back in. I personally say no. I voted for my tax dollars not to go pay for people that are not citizens of the United States. I want our homeless veterans taken care of before somebody outside the United States that is not a citizen. I want helpless, defenseless children taken care of in the United States before people who are illegally here. You know, that's just not right. So that's another provision. Reinstate and preserve funding for public broadcasters. So basically, they want NPR and PBS to be funded again. Well, if they're public, if they're federally funded, they need to be non-biased, and they're not. They're propaganda machines for the socialists and the Marxism, the far left. So that's why their funding was taken away. And the Democrats want that restored. They want a short-term CR resolution, which would be a stopgap until October 31st to actually pass an actual budget, to go through all the appropriations, agree on everything, and pass a budget. Let me tell you guys, the last time we had an actual budget passed was in 1997. You're muted, LaTanya.
Who was president during that time?
Who was president in 1997? I have to look it up.
I'll just guess. If it was a budget balance, maybe it was Reagan.
No, his last term was ended in 88.
Oh.
Who was president was it Bush?
Bill Clinton.
It was Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton.
Wow.
There you go. Okay. And they want written guarantees. Insist that any CR deal, including enforceable provisions in writing, so that it cannot be reversed later. Okay. What was in the Republican CR? The same thing that it's been for the last 13 times that they agreed to it. Pass a clean continuing resolution. Only funding extensions, no major policy change, to reopen the government immediately. This is not the time to be negotiating deals here. And they think it's time to negotiate deals. And this is how all this garbage gets put in these bills that we don't want. You know, funding for gender studies in wherever that was. Syria? Yeah, Syria. Yeah. Syria's going to do the trans thing. No. You were going to say something, LaTanya.
No. As you're going through, and thank you for reading out, because it's probably hard for people to see, but what one of the things, just like our title, political games for their benefit at the expense of the people.
Yeah.
That's really with that. And so this is not a game when you're talking about people's livelihood.
No.
And
it's not.
Yes. And so this is which is so wow, like you're hearing, they want to be put back into this bill where healthcare is being funded for any and everybody. And it's even more of a slap in the face where it's like to people who are illegally here.
Right.
I have to pay for my insurance.
Me too.
I don't get free insurance.
Me neither.
I mean, is there an American that gets free insurance? I'm not talking about, like those who I'm talking about, like, do you get free insurance?
Unless you qualify for Medicaid or Medi-Cal here in California, or, well, when you've worked your whole life and then you get at 65, you get Medicare.
Right.
But you still got to pay for it. That isn't free. People don't realize it. I'm also a Medicare insurance agent. I sell Medicare policies. Part A is the only free part of Medicare. Part B, and that's hospitalization. Part B is your doctors. And you got to pay for that. Everybody pays $185 a month premium for Part B. And the caveat to getting Part B is you have to work 40 quarters in your lifetime, which equals to 10 years.
Wow.
To be paid into the Medicare system. You don't get it for free. It's a tax, just like Social Security is a tax. You pay into it.
Right.
It's not free. You pay into it. And these people are coming in here and they're getting it for free. So, yeah, it's not right. So, the other thing is that the Republicans want spending restraint and cuts. They want to control discretionary spending. We have to agree that the last 4 years under Biden, they threw money at everything. And when there wasn't enough money, they printed it. And that's why we're $40 trillion in debt.
Ooh, $40 trillion.
Let that sink in. Because your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and your great-great-grandchildren are not going to be able to pay that off in their lifetimes.
Wow.
So, and then allow rescissions and executive control. Republicans in the White House favor having more leeway to the president to rescind and cancel funds. I don't see a problem with that. People that don't like Trump have a problem with that. And then they want a longer extension. They actually want it 7 weeks. They want it to like November 17th or something like that, which will give them time to negotiate the proper appropriations to balance and fund the budget. Again, we haven't had a funded budget, balanced budget since 1997.
Wow.
It's been one continuing resolution after another.
Wow.
That's just, to me, that's government. All these career politicians that have been in government for ever. Before, when we were getting on the show, we were talking about Nancy Pelosi. Stupid people in San Francisco, they keep voting her back in. She's been in Congress 35 years.
35 years.
Something like that.
Wow. But it goes back to how these positions, they were never meant to be career positions and to get rich and millions of dollars. These were positions that I would say maybe originally when they were created, they were like a public service kind of type of thing.
Absolutely.
Where you came and you wanted to represent your state, to be a voice to the people. But now it has turned, it's like, it is not like that now.
No, it's not. The people are representatives of the people of their district, but they're only in it. Most of them are only in it for themselves. And the thing is there needs to be term limits. There needs to be, they get paid $175,000 a year. Sorry, Amazon's here. Dog's going nuts. I don't know if you could hear. What was I saying? They make $175,000 a year. During the government shutdown, they're still getting paid. And if they only serve one term, they get that $175,000 the rest of their life as retirement.
Wow.
That's wrong.
Have they ever tried to change it?
Well, they got to get 2/3 of the vote to change it. But that means that, we need to clean house, and who you vote for matters. Clean house and get respectable people in there that have integrity.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like on one side, I could see it's good, but then on the other side, it all depends on who you got in the office.
Right.
Because if you got good people, you want to keep them.
Right. But, they should serve 2 terms. And maybe in Congress, well, that would be 4 years. Maybe
I
they
was
could
gonna
serve
say, yeah.
three terms. That would give them 6 years.
So each term is how many? 2
In
years?
Congress, each term um, is 2 years. They get reelected every 2 years. In the Senate, it's a
What about the
6 year term.
Senate?
Is a 6 year term.
Okay. Mm.
So they're talking about 2 terms. I don't know. I don't know how they could do that, but
So AOC, how many terms has she's in the what? Congress?
she's in Congress. She's been there 7 years.
7 years? She's been voted in that position how many times? Uh,
4.
one, 4 times? And she represents again who? What place?
The Bronx, I think.
Somewhere in New York. Okay. Wow.
But she's gunning for Schumer's seat.
So she's got
She's gunning. So I have this clip. It's a little bit long, but this will give you some ideas of what's happening. And some of the rhetoric you have to ignore. I wasn't able to edit this. I didn't have enough time after I saw it, but it really brings some stuff to light.
These are all the various provisions in the chart over here. Those are listed in millions. So you see the final total there, $192.8 billion of your hard-earned taxpayer dollars that Chuck Schumer and the Democrats want to give back to illegal aliens. That's a fact.
It certainly isn't. Do you really think that Chuck Schumer is doing all of this so he can give illegal aliens free health care? After all, here's what he said in 1996.
Over where we go, people say, well, why can't you stop illegal immigrants or others from coming here? And the number one answer we give our constituents is when they come here, they can get jobs, get benefits against the law because of fraud.
Ooh, whoa. Did he even use the I word, illegal? And guys, that is not AI. I know it's hard to believe, right? Because here's what Schumer says now about illegals.
The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers and all of them, because our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are here.
Schumer, he doesn't suddenly care about illegals. Let's not get I mean, come on. Schumer.
Kind of backpedaling there, isn't he?
It sounds like a lot of backpedaling.
It's like, okay, I mean, that was from the 90s. What happened? What changed? Why did he change? Why? I mean, and that was the consensus among the whole Democrat Party back then.
I think that picture gives us the answer. That picture that he is scared. And so, at least that's what it seems to be.
Yeah. Well, let's listen on more.
Has always only cared about Schumer. And that's what this Schumer shutdown is really about. Chuck Schumer knows that if Socialist Democrat Congresswoman AOC primaries him in staunch blue New York Senate race, Schumer will be beaten bigly by a Bronx bartender. And his ego, it can't handle that. So he's shutting down the government, leaving hundreds of thousands of Americans without a paycheck and maybe even a job. So Schumer can appear to be as radically left as AOC.
And I saw some Republican members of Congress saying, oh, well, if we have this shutdown, it's because of AOC. Well, if that's the case, my office is open and you are free to walk in and negotiate with me directly. Because what I'm not going to do is tolerate 4 million uninsured Americans because Donald Trump decided one day that he wants to just make sure that kids are dying because they don't have access to insurance.
Girl, you are not a senator, but clearly you are aiming to be one, maybe even the president, and you are certainly in the driver's seat here. Take a listen to what she also said on NBC News.
The fact of the matter is, I can tell you, in the 7 years that I've been here, they have never given me a single phone call because they know what the truth is. They know that the people that they need to be negotiating with and who they are negotiating with are Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, and that they are getting walloped in these negotiations because they have no plan for people. And we are here to ensure that every American has expanded and protected healthcare in America.
Oh, did you just hear that? Ladies and gentlemen, that right there, that is a coup in the Democrat.
Okay, listen to what she just said. See, she needs to go up against a regular person who's like, I don't want to be in position. I just want to expose you. She just said, for every American. Yes, every American. Legal American.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. If you're see, she just needs somebody to go up against her to expose her, who is like, I don't want no position. I'm not trying to run for Congress. I'm not trying to run. I just want to expose her. Don't have nothing to, I just want to expose her. And it would be so easy. It would be so easy to do that. First of all, from pretending to be from the Bronx when she was, and there's nothing wrong if she came from a upstanding, whatnot, place. There's nothing wrong with that, but don't try to pretend. Don't try to, it can be insulting.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It can really be insulting, thinking that, oh, I have to downplay, I have to, or whatever. So that's one thing. They can get her on that. Secondly, just look the boldness where she's like, no, negotiating with me. So you one of how many? Are you serious? Like, we're
Well, she always plays off as a gangster. I mean, I can't say it on here, but you know what I mean. She always comes off that she's, like Jenny on the block. I'm all powerful and I'm going to, fight you and all of this stuff. And people like that, if you really get in their face and you start throwing facts at them, they don't have a comeback. That's the issue. And, I know we weren't going to go the Charlie Kirk way, but that's what he did,
And that's why he was so good and effective at
Right.
what he did. Exactly.
And that's what we try to do here is come back with the facts, and the receipts and to show you that. And we're going to show both sides. I got one from Hakeem Jeffries too, but let's get through this. There's more good stuff in this one.
Okay.
Party happening right before our eyes. She threw down the gauntlet, the mic, whatever you want to call it. Even CBS News knows that the Dems are lying when they say they're not pushing for free health care for illegals.
There is nothing in Medicaid, there is nothing in Medicare that permits one undocumented immigrant to get $1 of assistance.
Senator, if you let me finish the question.
Of course,
Senator,
I'm sorry.
Sorry, in the Democratic counteroffer, the proposal for funding, there is a restoration of Medicaid benefits for certain non-citizens that it had been taken away in the big, beautiful bill, as the Republicans put it. Republicans don't think those people should be getting health care on the taxpayer dime. I'm not asking on the merits. Politically, putting that in there exposes you to this talking point, this lie, as you put it. Why put it in there? Why is it worth it?
Oh, Senator Warren was about as livid there as when her ancestry DNA results came in. Democrats want illegal aliens to have free health care because how else do you get them to vote for you? This is what the
What she's talking about there, the DNA ancestor report with Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren claims that she's American Indian, Native American Indian, and her DNA says no. But she used it to get into college.
She did?
She used it to get in college. Yeah. All right.
Wow.
the Democrats do. Under the guise of equality, they give away free stuff. But it's always been about power and control and votes, boosting the census numbers, getting more seats, getting more tax dollars, right? Democrats think that the American voter is stupid. And sadly, millions of them are, half of this country. I mean, and that's why Trump is using the brilliant strategy of humor to call out the Democrats. His latest AI video stars Office of Management and Budget Director Russ Voigt as the Grim Reaper, who is now weighing what woke agencies to cut federal funding to. Yeah, more cowbell. And the more the Democrats call Trump names like racist and bigot for all of the trolling videos, the harder and funnier Trump is hitting back at them.
It's a disgusting video, and we're going to continue to make clear bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face of an unprecedented Republican assault.
And yes, while all of this, it is funny. It's amusing.
So back in the day when there were newspapers, these jokes were cartoon strips.
Wow.
Now they're AI generated and they're having a meltdown. But if you go back into the archives, you can find all kinds of different political, humorous cartoon drawings.
Wow.
And they're, you know, I mean, is it poor taste? Maybe.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's also humorous. And, you know, one clip, Hakeem Jeffrey says, you know, that he can come and say all this stuff to his face. Well, he already did. He did the other day. He sat there at the Resolute desk with Hakeem Jeffries there. And of course, Trump being Trump has Trump 2028 hats on his desk facing them. There was Schumer, I forget who the other guy was, and Hakeem Jeffries. And he said all of this stuff straight to his face. So why does he have to be all macho and come back and, well, you know, he can come into my office and say it to my face. Well, you were just in his office and he said it to your face.
Well, what is the, like the hats and, you know, what was that pointing to?
What, the sombreros?
Yes, yes.
The illegal immigrants coming in from Mexico? And he says that's racist. How is that racist? I mean, wearing a Mexican
in the in you know, do you all think that was racist? I mean,
okay.
Yeah. So
Nobody's there.
All
right. Yeah. Okay, crickets. All right, moving on.
It's also eye-opening. The Republicans, Trump, they are simply trying to be fiscally responsible with our tax dollars. Yet the Democrats, all they want to do is stop the Trump agenda.
Instead, the counterproposal, this is page 57. This is on our website. Go to speaker.gov. You can get all these visual aids for yourself, all right? Page 57, section 2141. You see the highlighted language. There's a lot of legalese in this legislation, in these bills, but it says that they want to repeal the health subtitle changes. What does that refer to? You read down here, Public Law 119-21. That's the one big, beautiful bill. That's the American Families Tax Cut.
They want to take your tax cut. So, I mean, The Democrats, they don't understand the American people and what they need and what they want, because the Democrats are consumed with TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. No matter what Trump does, they demonize him. Trump securing at least 7 peace deals in 8 months in office. He might be achieving peace.
So let me ask you guys, is what the Democrats are doing with their alternative continuing resolution, and I pointed out all the bullet points to you of what they want. Is it really what they want, or are they just trying to get at Trump? What do you think? What do you think, LaTanya?
You know, I think they're still trying to get at Trump. Anything this man has accomplished so much in less than a year of being in office. It's like it's unheard of, the speed at which he is getting things done. And they can't say nothing. Nothing. That is just horrible. That is just really horrible.
Yeah. So, and the thing is what they're doing. Well, what Trump has done is he disgraced everyone that has been in the government, as an elected official in the government. He just disgraced them all, because they all said, "Oh, this takes time." Look what he did.
Exactly.
Now, mind you, guys, you guys also have to understand, he did a lot by executive order. I want you guys to know executive order may not be permanent, because the next president can come in and undo every executive order that he did, just like Biden did right after Trump's first term. He came in and he repealed everything.
Every single.
So a lot of the stuff that Trump is trying to do actually needs to get passed through Congress and the Senate and become law. It has to. And if it doesn't, and we got an election coming up next year, guys, midterms. This is just as important as the presidential election in 4 years.
Yes.
This next one, because if we don't maintain the majority, we're in deep trouble, and Trump won't be able to do anything but executive order.
Yep.
And that won't be good for the country at all. So who you vote for matters. And for the next year, going to be harping on it. All of you guys that watch our show, and we thank you for it.
Yes.
In the Middle East right now as we speak, and the left, all they'll say is, "Oh, he just wants a Nobel Peace Prize." Trump is sending in the National Guard to stop lawlessness in our blue sanctuary cities, and the left shouts, "Oh."
Yeah, and he's sending lots of provisions and fuel and everything else to Qatar, our base on Qatar. He's gearing up for something.
Oh,
they're gearing up for something over there in the Middle East, because Hamas has got I think 7 days or maybe it's until Sunday again to come to a deal. And if they don't, they're going to feel the brunt of the American military.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh boy. And I don't know.
I don't know.
And I don't know where my son is. I don't know where my son is. I just pray he's not there. But anyway.
He's a dictator. Oh, federal overreach. Yet the Democrats, all they want to say over and over again is that MAGA is a cult. Meanwhile, forget the proverbial Kool-Aid. Lib moms, they were chugging Tylenol to spite Trump. They don't even care about their unborn babies. So we are not dealing with rational people here. But remember, arguing with a fool only proves there are two. Joining me now, South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace. Nancy, Congresswoman, thank you so much for joining us. AOC, you think she's really the driving force here, that Chuck Schumer is just so deathly afraid of her, and that this is what he's doing to appease the hardcore left of that base so he can win in that primary? Because here in New York City, if you win the Democrat primary, you're almost guaranteed the win at the general election.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we are shut down. Schumer shut down the government because of a former bartender from the Bronx. He is terrified of being primaried by AOC, which is why he is placating to the far left fringes of the party who want the shutdown. Whereas, most of the country does not want to shut down. They're doing it anyway. We're talking about a clean CR, clean continuing resolution that Democrats have voted on 13 times previously. It's no different. They voted on it in March to avoid a shutdown. They voted for it again. And this is all because of Schumer being terrified of AOC. It's nothing more than that.
Right. Nancy Pelosi, do you think she should be afraid too? And did you hear also what AOC just said there? That she basically called Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer ineffective. And she's.
So.
Well, okay, I want to say something before we even, to that part. Since she, talked about that. Can you, wow, how am I saying this? If I heard that lady correctly, you got pregnant women chogging down.
Oh, yeah.
Down, or however the term you want to use, Tylenol.
After when
just to try to prove a point because of what came out last week.
Exactly.
I want to say about how there was some scientific proof that taking large amounts of Tylenol could be linked to.
Well, taking Tylenol when you're pregnant could be linked to
could be
autism.
Linked to autism. So you have these women that are
pregnant,
that are like how they feel about President Trump, or taking large doses of Tylenol. And I want to say, I think some got hospitalized. Some things really happened.
I didn't hear about that, but even Tylenol years ago, I think it was in the 90s, said that pregnant women should not take Tylenol unless you have an extremely high fever.
Right.
To avoid Tylenol. And I know when I was pregnant, I didn't take anything.
Right.
I mean, I caught a cold and the doctor says you can take Sudafed. I didn't even want to take that.
Right.
But these women put their child's life in danger to prove a point. Now, to me, it's like, okay, what kind of mom does that? Forget the point. Forget that you're trying to do all that. Why the heck would you put your baby's life in danger?
I don't know.
And so you're just going to let your child run out in the street to prove a point to somebody that you don't like?
Don't know. That's wow.
You're going to let your child get into the Tide Pods and eat the Tide Pods just to prove a point to somebody you don't like?
Right.
No, you're not. Why they're, when they're born. But see, that's the thing with the left. They don't think babies are babies, actual human beings, until they're born.
Right.
So when you get pregnant, you become a mom, and your job is to protect and nurture that child from the point of conception.
Yeah.
That's what you're to do. And what you do while you're pregnant sets you up to be a good mother or a bad mother after the child is born. And, they've proven that alcohol causes birth defects, fetal alcoholism, being on drugs. Those babies go through painful withdrawals after they're born.
Wow.
Agonizing. How could you do that to a child? It's just heartbreaking. It's just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So to continue on with what we got, Maxine Waters here. And what she has to say.
Mm.
I'm going to mute myself so you carry on the conversation.
Okay. So does anyone have any questions or anything? Like what is your thoughts about what we've stated so far? And especially with AOC. And just wow.
This is the participation part.
Yes.
You know, in school, you know, when the teacher calls on you,
Yeah.
all have to participate.
Yes.
Hey, we like the feedback. We want to hear.
Almost start calling on you. You know how the teacher is like volunteer.
Well, here we go. Here's Maxine Waters.
Check this out. Democrats want to prioritize the health care of illegal aliens over a government shutdown because if the government does shut down, Americans.
Excuse me, stop it right there. We're not prioritizing. What we're doing is saying simply we want to keep the government open and we want to work with the Republicans and have a bipartisan agreement to keep this government open, and health care is at the top of our agenda.
But are Democrats demanding health care for illegal aliens? That's
right. Democrats are demanding health care for everybody. We want to save lives. We want to make sure that health care is available to those who would die, but having the help of their government.
So you're good with the government shutdown, even if it means giving health care to people who aren't American citizens?
Well, that's what you're pushing on. What you're trying to do is you're standing here and you're trying to make me say, put non-citizens over Americans. Quit it. Stop it. This is the kind of journalism we don't need.
No, I'm just
you're divisive. No, you're not.
Yeah, no,
you're being divisive. No, please don't. You don't need to ask that question. You're just trying to get controversy here. You're not going to get it from me. We want to save health care for all people. Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Appreciate it.
That is exactly.
Stop pushing buttons.
Oh, Maxie, she never fails. She always come through. She always come through.
Yeah, well.
We're at the 30.
Okay.
Past 30.
All right, let me set it up.
But did you all did you see Miss Maxine? Oh my goodness.
Okay. So this is to support us. We appreciate you all, and to keep this channel going. It does take, not only does it take the time, but it does take funds to keep it going. And we appreciate your support by either buying through the Faith and Freedom Shop, or now we also, LaTanya, you can share yours in the chat about buying a cup of coffee to be able to support our channel. Let's see if I can put it up. Here, it's a banner. But I still have Charlie Kirk shirts. Charlie Kirk shirts. Tomorrow would be the last day to purchase them if you want them by October 14th. October 14th is the National Day of Remembrance for Charlie Kirk. It is also his birthday. there's a big movement to wear red on that day, to honor him, and also, his sacrifice and his legacy. So I still have Charlie Kirk's. A donation will be made to Turning Point USA for every shirt sold. But I'll just have Charlie Kirk shirts. I have the Lion of Judah. This one actually I've been selling a lot lately.
That one?
The Lion of Judah shirt. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's
I love
nice.
that lion. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a good one. As well as Make America Gods Again. Been selling a lot actually of these 4 shirts. Make America Gods Again, Psalm 33:12. Blessed is the nation who serves the Lord. So those are, and everything's on sale. They starting at $29.99. And then something new that we just started with is Buy Me a Coffee at Faith and Freedom. And then LaTanya, yours is at High Real Talk, Real Solutions.
Let me see. I'll put it in.
Yeah, put it in the chat.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat.
So we greatly appreciate you all supporting us. And those are ways that you can support this channel. So we appreciate you. Okay. Now back to our program here. So this was really good from Caroline Levitt at the press conference this morning. And she got the same question posed to her, basically, that Maxine Waters got posed to her, that she went off on. And this is what she had to say. So I'm queuing it up. I'm putting myself on mute because it'll start.
Oh, okay. That's okay. All right. Have you started it, Kathy? Oh, okay. Okay. So let's see.
No.
There we go.
Okay. All right.
Assault, illegal drug possession, and many more. So we continue to see good results coming in through Memphis, and the president is very excited about making Memphis safe again.
Thank you. At the top of the briefing, you made a statement about that the Democrats are interested in giving health care to illegal immigrants.
Yes, they are.
U.S. law already prohibits that. It's a 1996 law saying that they cannot give unauthorized immigrants any federally subsidized health care coverage through Medicaid, the Affordable Care Act, or the Children's Health Insurance Program. There seems to be a disconnect in the message.
Are you denying that Medicaid money has never gone to illegal aliens in the United States of America?
I'm not denying anything. I'm asking you if you can explain the disconnect in the message.
I most certainly can. The Democrats' proposal, their continuing resolution, let me just reiterate, the Republicans' continuing resolution was a clean continuing resolution. There was no partisan politics injected into it. There were no conservative wish lists injected to it. What the Republicans want and still want to this very second is a clean continuing resolution to fund the United States government. What did the Democrats want in their continuing resolution? They inserted a provision to undo a provision in the Working Families Tax Cut, the One Big Beautiful Bill, that ended taxpayer-funded health care illegal benefits for illegal aliens. Democrats' proposal would require Medicaid to pay more for emergency care provided to illegal aliens than Medicaid does for American patients who are disabled, elderly, or children. And this bill would have also allowed California to continue a gimmick that funds its Medicaid for Illegals program. Those are things that we ended, the Trump administration ended, with the passage and the signage of the One Big Beautiful Bill. And it is an undisputed fact, a fact that under the Biden administration, illegal aliens were absolutely receiving taxpayer-funded healthcare benefits. In fact, in fiscal year 2024, Medicaid costs for emergency services for illegal immigrants skyrocketed by 142% from the previous year to $9.1 billion. That's 9.1 billion taxpayer dollars that were going to emergency services for illegals. Between President Trump's last full fiscal year under his first administration and Joe Biden's last full fiscal year, Medicaid spending on emergency services for illegal immigrants nearly tripled. There was an increase of 196% between 2020 and 2024. And I have a chart here for you, and I'm more than happy to email it to you. I'd also like to add, because some were asking dishonest questions yesterday about emergency rooms. In Southern California, according to healthcare professionals in 2023, under the Biden administration, Southern California's, quote, entire healthcare system was being bombarded with illegal immigrants and forcing American patients to endure longer wait times. In Denver, Colorado, the CEO of Denver Health stated that 8,000 illegal immigrants made 20,000 visits to the city's health system in 2023, leaving an uncompensated bill totaling over $10 million. So when a illegal alien goes to the emergency room, who's paying for it? The American taxpayer. The main safety net hospital in Denver had to turn away patients due to the massive influx of illegal immigrants into the community. And UC Health Hospitals in 2024 reported their system was under stress from an increasing number of migrants. As a result, according to the head of emergency departments and urgent cares across the hospital system, quote, access is impeded for everyone. These are healthcare professionals who dealt with this directly, and there's a lot more where that came from. It is an undisputed fact that Democrats want to give taxpayer-funded healthcare benefits to illegal immigrants, period.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin.
I can attest to California emergency rooms. I've been in there in the last 3 years. I've probably been in the ER with my mom and my husband. I would say close to 10 times. And, you know, my mom, when she had the heart attack, she was left in the ER. She wasn't even in an actual room. She was in a bed in the hallway until they can get a room for her. You're muted, LaTanya.
Wow.
It's bad here in California, and especially, you know, I'm less than 100 miles away from the border where I live. So they were bused from the border here. I know that for a fact. And I'm not saying that nobody can come to this country and that I don't want anybody to come to the country. I have no problem with you coming to our country. But you need to come through proper channels, come through legally, not illegally.
Yeah.
Because all you are is a strain. And you and I were talking before, you know, if you go into Canada and you want to live in Canada, become a resident in Canada, you have to prove to the Canadian government that you can support yourself. You have to have employment. You have to have a job. You have to have some way to provide for yourself, because they're not going to do it.
Right.
Here, you come in, you don't have a job, no problem. The taxpayers will just take care of you.
Take care of it. Yeah.
You'll get health care. You get, yeah.
Everything.
I did make that video, by the way.
Oh, you did?
I did. It's got some glitches in it, but yeah, it's to the point. I mean, I didn't download it yet because I need to go back and fix it. But there was a post, and look for that video to come out, because I'll get it corrected and put on YouTube. Okay. But there was I saw a post, and it was the difference between a legal American worker, construction worker, and an illegal construction worker, where Joe Legal gets paid the right way with a paycheck and taxes are taken out and so on and so forth. And Jose Illegal gets paid cash under the table, and it goes through how much more money Jose Illegal ends up with versus Joe Legal. And it was quite interesting. So stay tuned for that video. As soon as I get it finished, I had AI produce it, an animated video, and but there's some glitches in it, so I got to fix that before I can post it. Okay. But what she's saying is true. The hospitals are overrun, and the thing is they are educated. These people coming over the border are educated how to beat the system, and they're told that if you need to go to the doctor for any reason, you just need to get antibiotics. You got the flu or something like that. You go in there and tell them that you have chest pains. Because if you tell them you have chest pains, they have to move you to the head of the line before everybody else.
Wow.
And besides that, what $9.1 billion the taxpayers had to pay in fees and in medical bills that illegals didn't pay for?
Wow. Well,
yeah,
I know.
I'm just shaking my head.
Wow.
But keep going.
I was just posting what Connie said, how she said, I sat in a chair for 5 hours for a bed in the ER.
Yep. I feel for you. When I was in the hospital 2 years ago, I went to the emergency room. They took me right in. Well, because I told them that I was in extreme pain and it was beyond a 10. I mean, that pain was beyond the 10. And this is when my bowel perforated and I had emergency surgery. They worked pretty quickly for me there, but my husband was out there for 8 hours waiting. Wow. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy. But yeah. And then, when my dad went into the hospital, which was right at COVID, this was in 2020, Christmas of 2020, he went into the hospital the day after. They were so overcrowded, and I think they just did this because of his age and stuff. He couldn't come home. We couldn't take care of him because he couldn't even walk to the bathroom, and he needed to go into assisted living. But he stayed in the hallway too. It was awful.
Wow.
I'm queuing up another video. This one is about hockey. Okay. So this is what Hakeem says the problem is. Now, if you guys don't know who he is the Democrat majority leader for Congress. Okay? The Democrat House minority leader is who he actually is.
But it's day 256.
Okay, I misheard it.
This is day 2 of Donald Trump's shutdown, but it's day 256 of the chaos that the Trump presidency has unleashed on the American people. Republicans have shut the government down because they don't want to provide health care to working class Americans. House Democrats continue to be here on duty. House Republicans are on vacation. We are ready, we are willing, we are able to sit down with anyone, anytime, any place, including the president and the vice president, to try to find a path forward to reopen the government, enact a spending agreement that actually meets the needs of the American people, while at the same time addressing the Republican health care crisis. Unfortunately, Republicans have shown zero interest in even having a conversation. After the White House meeting, on Monday, we've seen behavior by the president that is unserious and unhinged. And Leader Schumer and myself haven't gotten a single phone call as it relates to a follow-up conversation. We're ready to have that conversation, but we need credible partners on the other side of the aisle. This is day 2 of Donald Trump's shutdown.
What do you guys think of that?
Yeah.
Do you believe him?
Is this President Trump's shutdown?
Is it the Republican shutdown?
Is it all their fault?
Because the Republicans won't accept their demands? So they're holding, think about this, guys. The Democrats want to repeal everything that was done in the big, beautiful bill, basically. They want to fund healthcare for illegals and all of that other stuff. So basically, those people that are not working right now, that work for the federal government, I would be shouting from the rooftops and calling all those Congress people and all those senators to get their act together and make the deal.
Yes.
Because they're holding them hostage. It's not affecting the rest of us that don't work in government.
Right.
I'm not affected by it. As I said, I got paid. My husband got paid. We got our Social Security checks.
Right.
My son got paid. He's in the military.
Wow.
We will continue to get paid. But these other people won't. And is that right? No.
Right.
It's not. It's not at all. So what are we to do? Well, I suggest you get on the phone to your congressperson or your senator in your state, and there's 2 for every state. You call both of them and you leave a message. You email them.
Right.
You get on X and you send them a message there publicly.
Yeah.
And let them know, quit holding the American people hostage for bills that the majority of American people want.
Right.
This is ridiculous.
Right. I mean, it's political games.
It is. You know, political games. And it needs to stop.
Yes. Wow.
So, but that's all I got for tonight. So you guys have any questions, any comments?
Yes, I just wanted to highlight what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Shorty said, yeah. Yeah. So, see,
yes.
People on disability and Social Security are going to get paid. It's a political game, absolutely, and it's a bad one. And you're playing with, families, because there are good people that work for the federal government. They may be in non-essential jobs, but they still need to be. Their families need to be provided for, and it is their job. This is just wrong. You're hurting the wrong people. You're trying to make the Republicans look bad, and the Democrats. To me, you're just looking more foolish than ever.
Yeah.
This is day 3, and nothing's going to happen until Monday.
Till Monday?
Mm-hmm. There will not be another vote until Monday.
They're not going to vote. Okay.
So, but
I hope what we have said has helped in what it is, that it's just not oh, it's President Trump and he's shutting down the government and people are losing their jobs and the likes. There is a context to this. And just as what Kathy was laying out in that slide and just watching the videos, is that they want to go back and put in the bill all this funding to illegal
Mhm.
immigrants. We have to pay for our insurance. Why is it that others as well?
Yeah. Rosie wants to know why they're for illegals. Because the Democrats are losing their power,
That's
and they figure that if they take care of the illegals, they vote. Well, they'll vote here in California, um, and so they think that they will vote for them, and they'll be able to stay in power. Only it didn't work, and um, President Trump he's already made the mandate that for any federal election, which the election coming up for the midterms and also the presidential election in 2028, all the ballots have to be paper ballots. They cannot use the voting machines because that's how they cheat. And all the vote and there's going to have to be voter ID for every federal election. So, but here in California, illegals get a driver's license. So it doesn't matter.
Right.
Here, California is so corrupt, it's not funny. It's ridiculous. And that's why we're billions of dollars in debt here in California, because we're mismanaged.
Wow.
But that's the reason, is they want the people to be voting for them. They think that they're going to be on their side for the Democrat Party if they give them all this stuff. The thing is the people that are coming in, as long as they keep pushing the trans agenda, this woke ideology, those people are not going to vote for it.
Yeah.
They're not, because that's not the culture they come from.
Right.
And one of the things that we have to understand here, this isn't Republican versus Democrat anymore. This is good versus evil. This is a spiritual warfare. The devil wants to take out the United States because the United States is a beacon of light for Christianity across the world. Think about that. The United States is the beacon of light for Christ. It's not Israel. It's not the United Kingdom. Not anymore. They're mostly Islamic. But it's for, it's to destroy America because of what America stands for. I mean, let's face it. The United States from the beginning was founded because of religious freedom. And it was religious freedom to worship Christ. It was not to be forced into the Church of England. It was so that people could choose who and what church they wanted to belong to. Bible-believing, Bible-based churches. And that's why churches are being persecuted. And mainly, except for the one that happened in Michigan.
Right.
We don't know why he shut that up, but it wasn't trans ideology. But the other, the Catholic school and the Christian school in Nashville, that was because of transgender ideology. Charlie Kirk was assassinated because of transgender ideology, because he spoke the word, of what Jesus said, what God says about it. He spoke the truth.
Yeah.
And he was martyred for it. So, yeah, they want the power. Democrats want the power, and they think they'll be able to get it by bringing all these people in.
Right.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to work. The majority of the American citizen is not stupid. We see what's going on. Look at how Trump won by a landslide.
Yeah.
Because everyday Americans, including moderate Democrats, guys, it's not all Democrats. These people are not horrible people.
Right.
And we shouldn't divide them into Democrat versus Republican. It's not it.
Right.
Moderate Democrats don't like what's going on in their party. And that's why there is a mass exodus from the Democrat Party to independent.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's huge. So, didn't see the beginning of the show, but did you talk about that super attendance in Des Moines, Iowa? No.
I haven't
Oh,
heard
the
about that.
superintendent. Oh, yeah. The guy that was illegal.
Oh, the guy. I thought he
Yeah,
was
and it's being
somewhere
deported.
else.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's something he was even vetted. And he was taking care of children. And he had a warrant. He had a bench warrant out. You know, that school board's got problems. If they didn't vet their superintendent, that's just crazy.
I know. I know.
Rosie, we're all concerned about the 2028 election, and we should be concerned about 2026. More importantly, 2026 right now. I think 2028, the way, if you look at the past, so Trump's first term, you hardly saw Mike Pence, Vice President Mike Pence, anywhere.
Right.
But you sure see a lot of Vice President J.D. Vance.
Yes.
He's already campaigning, guys. He's already campaigning.
He is.
Not technically, but he's out there.
Okay. Yeah.
He's out there in the public, and he's out there more for a reason, because he is going to be our next presidential nominee. And I pray that he becomes the next president. But he is going to be at the top of the Republican ticket.
Right. Yeah.
And I think he'll carry the torch, and I think he will be an amazing president, because he is no nonsense.
Yeah.
He's no nonsense, and he's a military guy. So, which is more important to me, because my son's in the Navy, and if he continues to stay in the Navy, that will be his president.
Right. Okay.
And for his protection, and most likely my son probably will be staying in the military.
In the military. Okay.
Yeah. Unless he changes his view. But at this point, no, he wants to serve. So God bless him for that. And I pray every day that he's safe.
Yes.
I haven't heard from him now for 2 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my husband's saying he hasn't heard from him at all, because he only texts me. So anyway, love you guys, and we thank you very much. Please support us again at thank you. We appreciate that. Yeah, please support us at buy me a coffee at Faith and Freedom. And then I was going to put, where did yours go?
Oh,
there it is.
There we go.
Real talk, real solutions. So, because
really
I don't know if you guys are aware, but we each have our separate channels. So, Latania's is Real Talk, Real Solutions. Mine's Faith and Freedom Talk. So, please support us both. We greatly appreciate it. And until next time, we love you. God bless.
Until next time. Take care, everybody.